second way to experience self-love through travel is by indulging yourself. And this is one of my favorite ones.
Of course.
Because what I found, in the pattern at looking at my travel and, as I got older, looking at the patterns of travel of people around me and then eventually my clients, when you travel, you allow yourself to do things that you wouldn't do in real life. You sleep more. That's a big one. You sleep more. Okay. You eat the dessert. You indulge in a nice meal or 2 or 3. You essentially live your best life when you're on vacation. So why don't we live our best lives in our real lives? Right? That piece about indulging yourself is definitely something that I absolutely love about travel. And it's all about showing yourself self-love through indulgence. And I think part of it is because self-denial is such a part of our culture. We, are rewarded or we feel virtuous when we deny ourselves the dessert. Or when we say, oh, I'm surviving on 3 hours of sleep today. Those are seen as badges of honor, and they're seen as things that we should feel good about, right? So the whole self-denial piece, when we get back home after we're done traveling and we've had more sleep and we're feeling rested and we're like, we ate all the food that we wanted to eat, we get back home, we go back to that routine again of self-denial, so we go back to the 4 hours of sleep. We go back to having a crappy diet, our bodies feeling unnourished, our souls feeling unnourished, not treating ourselves, even if it's small indulgences, not treating ourselves to nice things and really denying our best life once we get back to real life, which is crazy, right? It just doesn't make any sense. So through travel, I realized that I didn't have to deny myself. Why would I do that? Why am I doing this? Right? Why should I wait until I travel to do nice things for myself, to feed my body properly, to get good sleep? Why would I deny myself all of those things in my regular life? Because if I implemented it into my regular life, I could do so much more. I could have, think about it this way. Americans on the whole are sleep deprived. Imagine we do so much on so little sleep. Imagine if we all got a good night's rest, all of our needs were met, our bodies were nourished, we were exercising, and we are literally living our best lives every single day. How much more good could we do in the world?
That's a great point.
And it's not about piling on the work, but it's about doing things that nourish our soul and really in through that process nourishes other people as well. Right? Like imagine what we could do if we were all whole, feeling like we were whole and rested and all of these really great things, right? Like we could do so much.
And it's so interesting because at the same time, you're like, when you know that you don't have sleep and you haven't nourished your body and you have all of these things that you just need, your attitude sucks, right? Like even if you're trying on the surface to keep it together, that ultimately your attitude sucks. Like you're irritable, you don't feel like your best, you just feel like But when you think about it, you're absolutely right. Like if I'm feeling cruddy for whatever reason, I can pull out one of those characteristics from my last vacation and just do it. Even if it's, let me drive down the street and go to that cafe with the great cakes, and just have me a slice real quick.
Yes.
I'm on vacation. It makes me feel good. How can I slip a little piece out here and there in my real life to make me feel good? That is such a great point. Like, 'cause that's exactly what we do. I think my whole, like leaving my job, becoming an independent contractor and all of that was a part of that. Like during the pandemic, teaching from home, I went to Mexico for 3 weeks and continued to work. And I was just like, I like this feeling. I like getting up in the morning, handling my business, I have my classes in the morning. And in the afternoon, I'm at the beach, eating a taco. I am living my best life. Like I am in the moment. And then after 3 weeks, I went back home and, was back into the routine. But it was when I got back into the routine, I realized I don't have to be in this box and still work. I want to
Mm-hmm.
work from home now, like forever. Like forever.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
that is exactly what I that was my last year. I was just like, this feels good. I can handle my business, do my work, but I can still enjoy my life. Like that gave me the um what would the word be? I guess just the best work life balance that I could have imagined for myself. Because I'm always
Yes.
talking about work life balance being important. But like we were said with the last one, you don't really know what you haven't experienced until you haven't experienced it. And once I experienced the magnitude of having a work life balance where I'm teaching US history in the morning and I'm on the beach in the afternoon, oh, we're making this happen. We're making this
Right?
happen forever.
Best balance ever, right?
Yes,
Best
yes.
balance
I'm eating
ever.
on the
Yes.
sides of my hand. You know, if I was just regularly at home, I'd probably be eating one of those like little frozen peanut butter and jelly things.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like okay, this is the life I want for myself. This is what I'm about to do. So we're gonna
Yes.
change some things around. We're gonna get this independent contractor thing going. We're gonna and 2 years later, I am still here.
Here you are. Exactly. And for me, it was a very similar trajectory too, Nadine.
Hmm.
Uh, starting up my business, Events by Ashe, part-time first while I was working full-time. So I was part-time for 3 years, about
Okay.
3 years, and then went to full-time,
Got
right?
it.
So similar trajectory too. And then it was
Yeah.
like, well, I'm working part-time. I really like this working from home thing. I don't got to talk to nobody,
Right.
there's no water cooler for me to be around,
Right.
good. Do this some more, and then crunching the numbers like, okay, so we did this, and let's say the business did this. Could I really let go of my full-time job, or could I go to a consultant model
Uh-huh.
where I was doing part-time hours, and that's how everything kind of petered out over time. And eventually I became full-time in my business. But you're right. It was following that good feeling,
Yeah.
following what started out as an indulgence, because really back then working from home, like 2012, even 2015, working from home was like an indulgence, right?
Right.
It was like, you work from home. Oh, you're so lucky.
Yeah.
It
And
was
no one ever really
an
thought
indulgence.
about it. It was like, oh wow, that's cool. And that was kind of the end of it, you know?
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. So again, it was following that good feeling. And, travel gives us that window,
Yeah.
right? Into seeing, okay, I like this. This was an indulgence when I was traveling. So how can I bring that back home? And for me, there was definitely the work from home factor. Yes,